Jr. is now the fastest for a lap at Pocono. Brad Keselowski is second quickest. Let's go to Mike Massaro.
And getting the most out of his race car right now, Rick, but lots on Brad Keselowski's mind, running double duty. He was supposed to go to Iowa yesterday, but because qualifying was delayed so long, decided to abandon that idea, so he never got to practice the car. Austin Terrio in Iowa, shaking it down. Austin Terrio's first opportunity with Penske Racing, I've been told he's done a very nice job, but right after this practice, Brad is going to debrief for about a half an hour or so, and then fly to Iowa and hope to be there for qualifying at 3 p.m. later this afternoon. Parker?
Mike, one of the incident we saw yesterday in ARCA on pit road, one of the best safety innovations in the past years for picture guys has been this, the helmet, right? A lot like a motocross helmet. This is actually Nick Gardner's helmet, the front tire carrier for Cameron Haley's truck team. Who also is on his team? Pedro Martinez, who was involved in that incident yesterday on pit road. This is the innovation that we think a lot of times help those guys, especially in that scary incident we saw yesterday.
Requiring them to wear helmets.
When you go back, Rick, and think that we jump over without fire suits and without helmet, when you see this impact here, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, we're going to show it again and just make sure you guys understand. That car's going well over 20 miles an hour when he hits those guys. So that's a scary, scary sight.
Yeah, you see just how easily they're moved. I mean, those cars are heavy. As we reported, the one gentleman that got up, Pedro Martinez, will actually be changing tires again today. Think about that. He's going to jump out in front of a car today. I mean, you know, it happens.
Same thing.
Yeah, less than 24 hours ago, and he's going to give it another shot.
And what a horrifying experience for a driver. You know, when you come off pit road and you feel like you know, even though you had a brake problem, you feel responsible for that. You know, even though it's like nothing you could have maybe done different, you still feel completely responsible. It is not an easy situation to be in.
And it's not easy to be, obviously, a crew member, but at the same time, as a driver, you guys go through very similar situations as far as danger. And this was earlier this week, Brad Keselowski at Watkins Glen testing, coming down the front straightaway, had a brake issue, which we have seen before many, many times, and this is becoming all too familiar, a head-on collision with the wall through turn one.
Yeah, Rick, and this isn't the only major collision he's had at road course testing. Road Atlanta back in 2011. I was actually here testing that day, and the noise that this car right here made when it hit the barrier down in turn one, look at the damage to his ankle, took your breath away. But then he comes to Pocono and wins that week. So currently second on the board, Rick. Maybe it's a good omen for Brad Keselowski. I'd like to have better omens than crashing hard and then coming back to victory lane.
Yeah, could barely get out of the car because of that ankle issue. But we have seen drivers do some incredible things. Brad Keselowski, another reason that these drivers are amazing at what they do is because of how many races they like to run. Well, how about this weekend? Brad Keselowski will run in both the Xfinity Series race, which will be later this afternoon in Iowa, and he's also practicing right now here in Pocono.
Yeah, to me, also, it's interesting to see if they can get their cars running in the Xfinity Series as well as they expect to. You know, the Penske cars really haven't run that well. So tonight at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be tuning in just to see, you know, can he go and match the speed that we've seen from the Joe Gibbs cars? Here, the Childress cars are fast here this weekend as well. So a big test going from one place to the other with no practice. That doesn't make it easier, I promise you.
Brad Keselowski will qualify the car. To qualify the car. That takes place a little after 4 o'clock this afternoon. That way he will be able to keep his starting position for the race later on this evening. Chase Elliott in the 24. Oh, so close to getting his first Cup Series win at this racetrack. Has shown success, has shown speed. And this is another instance where we look at Hendrick Motorsports as an organization, and you look at young Chase Elliott, who has success here. You have to go back to the notebooks that Steve, you put together, and Chad Knaus has put together, and Alan Gustafson, and all of the crew chiefs that work on these cars. That notebook has made Hendrick Motorsports very, very good at this racetrack, and they're leaning on that to have good cars this weekend.
Yeah, and you know, they ran very well here in the spring, even though the car right in front of Chase Elliott, the 41 of Kurt Busch, won the race. Hendrick Motorsports ran well, and you know, Chase was running very well, and he had a chance right here in the closing laps. He gets a good run on the 88. He knows the 41's right behind him. He gets aggressive. Jeff tries to pass the 88 blocks, kind of kills both their momentum. And here's the 41 of Kurt Busch to take over.
That's right. He had to push the issue. He had to try to make something happen. And, earlier in the race, he had a restart where he didn't think he got a good restart. And that kind of took him out of the lead, put him in this position as well. So I remember listening to Chase after this race, talking about all the mistakes that he made. And it won't surprise me in one bit for him to come here and compete for this win tomorrow. I didn't think he made that many mistakes. So he's harder on himself than I think everybody else is. But they ran exceptionally well here.
And with only a minute left, what we are seeing is, it's been well documented how dominant Joe Gibbs the Toyotas have been. But now we see Truex, a Toyota on top of the board, but then a Ford, Brad Keselowski, a couple SHR Chevrolets with Harvick, Kurt Busch, then the next Joe Gibbs Toyota, then another group of Chevrolets. So I think we're starting to see a little more parity than what we've seen the last few weeks. And we mentioned earlier, that shifting really changes the power band. This is a unique racetrack, so there's a lot of things to go into it.
With just under 40 seconds to go, we really want to say thank you once again to the big NASCAR fan that's sitting at home watching this race and gave us the idea of putting lap times up underneath the names on the ticker. We know that some race fans are pretty adamant about certain things like that, and wanted to make sure to say thank you for pointing that out to us. And you see Martin Truex Jr. little pit stop practice.
Yeah, just working on pit stops, making sure that when he leaves the pit stall, the engine runs clean, but then also the tachometer works the way he wants it to work. So it's really important to, as you leave right now, you're starting to immediately look at pit road speed, look at your tach, make sure you have the readings that you want. It reads clearly, it doesn't bounce up and down, it doesn't move. I think that's going to be more important tomorrow than what we've seen. These new timing lines, I'm telling you, are going to make a difference. It is going to make pit road more difficult. Drivers have to make sure they don't try to push too hard.
Track position is so important at this racetrack, it could lose you the race if you get caught for speeding, either entering or exiting pit road. Practice is over. We'll be back to recap.